A perfect day. See all the little children are playing with their burger. Burger. I love burger.
Seasonal felicitations, film connoisseurs. Welcome to the No Flimflam Film Fan channel, where today we are creating holiday hamburgers in honor of the greatest anti-hero ever to air in Christmas cinema, Burgermeister Meisterburger. A figure so anti-heroic some might even call him a villain. But I won't, because I want this episode to air in Sombertown. You probably have a couple of questions at the start. First, is there a traditional Christmas hamburger? Not to my knowledge. What we will do is get a little creative with the seasonings and the colors associated with Christmas to turn the simple hamburger into something more colorful and festive. Second, you're probably wondering whether Burgermeister Meisterburger ever bit or burgled burgers in the boroughs or the bungalows, in the byways or the boondocks, with the bossy bragging bourgeois in their busy bustling buggies back in black and white Bavaria. No. To the best of my memory, in Santa Claus is Coming to Town, all we see him eat is maybe a Renaissance fair style turkey leg. So again, we're going to have to get a little creative and evoke the spirit of Ersatz Bavaria from Sombertown in Santa Claus is Coming to Town as we create these hamburgers. And as we do, let us remember that classic catchphrase that Burgermeister Meisterburger made so famous. I'm Burgermeister Meisterburger, and I'm here to tell you, you're all going to love this burger. That's a catchphrase. Vern, get the clip. Roll the clip. The clip. The Burgermeister catchphrase. What do you mean you don't have... Vern, come on, get the clip.
What? What do you think? What? I've been bamboozled.
So, YouTube lied to me. In the creator studio that YouTube provides people who upload videos, there's this new generative AI feature. It takes your most popular videos and creates new ideas that riff off the themes of those videos. My most viewed video is a mashup of scenes from the film Santa Claus is Coming to Town whenever a character says the words Burgermeister Meisterburger. Just stop motion animation of people saying a silly sounding word because I like silly sounding words. That's it. That's the video. And it worked for me. And I did a follow-up a year later that also did pretty well, and I've just decided that's going to be a running theme. Every year around Christmas, I'm going to try to do a Burgermeister Meisterburger themed video. We'll see how long this can last. So the YouTube creator support AI saw that my most popular video was this Burgermeister Meisterburger video and suggested I do a new video about Burgermeister Meisterburger's catchphrase, "You're gonna love this burger." It even generated a potential thumbnail where Burgermeister looks like pretty much every guy I know who got a CS degree. That's computer science, of course. And that's not all. It also provided an outline suggesting that I explore Burgermeister Meisterburger's origins in McDonald's advertising in the 1980s and his lasting impact on fast food marketing. If you lived in the US in the 70s and 80s and 90s and had access to a television, you may already understand the problem. YouTube's AI confused Burgermeister Meisterburger, the antagonist to Santa Claus in a stop-motion Christmas film, with the Hamburglar, a fast food mascot who steals hamburgers in McDonald's advertisements targeted towards children. What's worse is that it doesn't even get the Hamburglar info correct. He didn't originate in the 1980s. He first appeared in 1971. And based on his initial character design, presumably he had to go door to door and tell all the other fast food mascots how he was registered on a certain naughty list. But to give the AI the benefit of the doubt, there was a redesign of the Hamburglar in the 1980s, so you could say in a way he originated in the 80s. The Hamburglar I know certainly started then. But what about his catchphrase? You're gonna like this burger? I don't remember it being like that. What was it? What was his catchphrase?
In McDonald land a long time back, a stranger showed up dressed all in black. Rubble, rubble, hick, rubble, rubble, hick, rubble, rubble, hick, rubble, rubble, hick.
Robble, robble. Robble, robble. Robble, robble. Robble, robble! I did not intend to go on a rant about the depressingly great overhyping of AI programs these days. Other more experienced creators like Adam Conover or Drew Gooden have already covered that topic very well, so instead of ranting and raving any further, I will direct your attention to them for some good information. Suffice to say, I was very taken aback at the insufficiency of this support tool that I didn't ask for, and I certainly would never pay for. Though I am mere flesh and bone and not some billions dollars costing AI program, I was able to find accurate information on the Hamburglar in less than 1 minute, merely by typing Hamburglar into an internet search engine. Correcting the misinformation that the AI provided for this video actually made my work take longer. And I don't think that's the point. But anyway, let's move on. I get to cook some burgers today, and that always cheers me up. And these are special. They're not AI generated. No robot gave me a recipe for these. I looked up information on traditional Christmas spices and dishes and thought up some ways to spice up hamburgers in the Christmas style. I'm really looking forward to trying them out. And if this fails, it's entirely my fault. I have no AI to blame for this. It's all on me. Let's get cooking. We have a few spices left over from a recent batch of mulled wine that I will rely on to seasonally season the meat for these Christmas burgers. Among these seasonal favorite spices, we have allspice, cardamom, cinnamon, cloves, coriander, ginger, nutmeg, and star anise. Interestingly enough, although these are traditional Christmas seasonings, they mostly originate from parts of the world where, historically, Christmas was not and still may not be a tradition. Places like Indonesia, India, and East Asia. If you lived in pre-industrial Bavaria before global trade networks really scaled up, you'd pretty much have to be the Burgermeister to afford spices like these. For the average European in the late Middle Ages or early modern period, spices, even in small amounts, could cost the equivalent of days or even weeks of work. Oh, oops, I seem to have forgotten the ginger. I'll have to go pick some from the garden. Mortar and pestle at the ready, I'm gonna grind up the spices. For the star anise and cardamom, I'll be grinding just the seeds inside the pods. I'm making beef and turkey burgers, choosing turkey in honor of the Ren Fair meal we see the Burgermeister eat in the film. Turkey also just seems a more traditional choice than beef. I'm seasoning differently, giving the more pungent spice of anise, clove, and ginger to the turkey, as well as some allspice. I'm also adding breadcrumbs and an egg to help bind the turkey meat together. Ground turkey tends to be a bit dry for burgers, and adding these can help it maintain proper shape. I've never actually made turkey burgers before, so we'll see if this holds true. For the beef, I'm adding salt, allspice, and coriander. After mixing both in their respective bowls, I will cover and leave in the fridge for at least an hour or several to allow the spices to mix through the meat. While waiting, I will make a simple cranberry sauce that can garnish the burgers or work as a side pairing. Cranberries are both seasonal tradition and provide a bright red traditional Christmas color to the meal. I start by dissolving honey into hot water. To season the sauce, I've prepared cinnamon and nutmeg, the juice of 3 mandarin oranges, and the zest of half a lime. Mix it all together and heat on low. As it heats up, you can watch and hear the cranberries popping like a tart, fruity popcorn. Once they've all burst, I keep simmering to allow moisture to evaporate, then turn off the heat, continuing to stir occasionally to avoid burning and watching until the steam quiets and we have a thick seasonal sauce. I'll be making 4 test patties for this video and saving the rest of the meat for other projects on my own time. All right, we are all set up to start cooking some burgers. We have the patties right here, we have the iron skillet getting ready to go, and one little thing to add a nice German touch. I will be putting them on some fine pretzel buns when we finish. Burgermeister Meisterburger would be quite proud at our respect for German tradition. No major concerns here other than will the turkey stay together into a cohesive patty. Nothing special, just frying up some burgers. Let's get at it. When the burgers are almost done, I add the cheese and turn off the heat. I've selected 2 cheeses, a Butterkäse, which is a creamy German semi-soft cheese, literally butter cheese. This one actually comes from Wisconsin, and the other is a blue cheese from a local dairy. I will be spreading the blue cheese onto the buns after toasting the buns in the burger grease. For the Butterkäse burgers, I kept it simple, with just some German mustard. The goal here is to see how the different Christmas spices affected both the turkey and the beef. For the blue cheese burgers, I decided to balance the salty, strong flavor of the cheese with something sweet and tart. I have the cranberry sauce I just made on the turkey burger, and for the beef, a rhubarb jam I made this fall with the last harvest of rhubarb in the garden. The green and red make for a nice Christmas coloring, and we'll see how the flavors balance out. I've also prepared a couple of colorful side dishes. We have fresh cucumber with the cranberry sauce and green and red tomatoes with some sauerkraut because we're celebrating the Burgermeister's culture, and I bet he's got barrels of this stuff in the Meisterburger mansion. A feast fit for a Burgermeister Meisterburger if ever there were one. But let's see how it tastes. Let's start with the simpler burger, the one with the butter Käse, the butter cheese. I'm getting a warm undertone from the spices in the meat here. Probably could have gone stronger, which is good. Not overpowered at all. Just a solid burger with some warm, earthy spices to it. I'm quite pleased. Now for the turkey, again, I've never made turkey burgers before. Thankfully it did hold together. Let's see how it goes. As burgers go, the ground turkey meat ends up softer but also drier. It's not quite as good as a burger. It's not bad. And as far as the spices, same as with the beef. Not overpowered at all. Probably could have gone stronger. Warm, earthy. Keeps you cozy on a cold winter's night. It's not bad. It's maybe the slightly healthier alternative if that's something that matters to you. Alright, now these here I'm very interested to try. I went with the more pungent spices, I went with the very pungent blue cheese, and garnished with a bit of jam. First we have beef. Let's see if it balances out, I'm very curious. The blue cheese really overpowers everything. The jam does bring in a bit of balance to it, but that's most of what that. If I had a more refined palate, maybe I could pick out more things, but the blue cheese, a bit of the jam to cool it off, is most of what I'm getting with this. The spices are not coming through as much as I thought they would. Okay, I just did a bite of just the meat, and you can definitely taste the spices in there. The amount that I used is not overpowering. I wouldn't go too much more than it, I think. What I would do is probably go lighter on the blue cheese. Then I think the balance would be just right. Right, let's try the turkey version. The difference on this one is that I used the cranberry sauce that I showed earlier instead of the jam. Same as before, the blue cheese is just a little too strong. I think the cranberry sauce does a little bit better job of balancing it out. It's more, it comes across more tart. But again, same as with the beef, although when I did a bite of just the meat on this one, I think the spices came through a little bit better. Remember, I used the more pungent spices in the turkey meat than I did with the beef. I think I wouldn't go any stronger on the spices. They're not overpowering. But I would go lighter on the blue cheese, and I think it would be just right.
Quick side note here, after wrapping up filming, I shared the other half of each burger with someone with a more refined palate than me. She commented that the burgers turned out quite well, but the turkey was under-seasoned. So if you're making turkey burgers, feel free to just go wild on the spice. Let Christmas joy take over.
It's different. It's worth trying again, I think. The balance is just a little bit off. So, this was a fun experiment. I'm glad I did it. I hope you try something similar. Let me know what kind of results you get. Play around with the spices, play around with the levels. Go easy on the blue cheese if you use blue cheese. It is so pungent and just so overwhelming. But other than that, have fun. As they say in Germany, bon appétit. One final question as we enjoy our Burgermeister Meisterburger approved holiday meal. What do we wash this down with? There are plenty of spiced winter ales that would work well with this. Personally, I think with a meal that's kind of heavy like this, some herbal tea would actually be just right. But the theme of today's video is Burgermeister Meisterburger, which is mostly me saying words that sound kind of funny to native English speakers on camera. So I have chosen Gewürztraminer, a German variant of the Sauvignon Blanc grape that makes a very nice wine that normally I would associate with picnics in summertime, but I'm going to use now because it's fun to say. Burgermeister Meisterburger, Gewürztraminers. But I'm going to use it now in wintertime with this meal because it's fun to say that I created a hamburger meal inspired by Burgermeister Meisterburger paired with Gewürztraminer, a fine, light German wine that I'm going to pour in a traditional German wine glass.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is.
Let's toast to finding joy wherever we can this holiday season, to being creative and creating new traditions out of old ones, to Burgermeister Meisterburger, and to Chateau Michelle Winery in the Columbia Valley, Washington, who provided today's Gewürztraminer. They're not a sponsor, yet. Call me Michelle. Prost, and Guten Christmas, everyone.